Hey everyone, welcome to Glenn's Garage. Today in the garage, we're going to be doing an oil change on the 2015 Focus SE behind me here. So come along, let's go get that job done. So tools you're going to need to do the oil change, you're going to need a oil catch pan, bucket, drain pan here. You're going to need a 15 mil socket or a 15 mil wrench. You are going to need T30 Torx if your splash shield is still there. You are probably almost certainly going to need an oil filter removal tool, wrench. I have this one. And you'll need a funnel for putting the oil back in, and then of course you'll need the oil in the filter. Okay, yeah, so we're doing an oil change on our 2015 Focus SE here. It's our daily driver, and it's just due. I jacked it up. I put it on jack stands. You can access underneath without doing that. I just like the extra room for the few minutes it takes me. It gives me a little more elbow room underneath there. Maybe I'm getting old. If you are going to do that, please do it safely. Use jack stands. Make sure it's jacked and held safely before you do anything else. So, first job, you're going to release the hood. Pop it up from inside the vehicle. The actual release for it is under here, over here. It's not in the middle where you would think it would be. It's over here. So, it's this yellow lever you're going to be pulling. And then there's a hood prop here. You just drop it in those two rectangular slots right there, and you're done. Okay, so here we are under the hood. 2 litre 4-cylinder. This is a flex fuel, but 2 litre 4-cylinder gasoline or petrol engine. Your oil fill neck is right here, so we're going to take that off. Open that up first off. Just open that up. We'll put it to one side here. That's your dipstick here. Let's pop that. I always pop that up that way when I pour the new oil in, it doesn't all run down the dipstick. Makes it a little easier to check the oil level. Alright, so we're ready up top here. Now we have to go underneath and get the old oil out. Okay, so we're going to go under the vehicle now. I should explain first off, the vehicles all come from the factory with a splash shield under here. It is sort of a fabric type material. This one got damaged and then flew off, so it's gone. I've never replaced it. If yours still has it on, it survived, you will need a T30 Torx, and there's a series of screws around here that you have to undo to drop it out of the way. So once it's out of the way, this is a view you'll have here. There's a little bit of the front fascia shields under here, and then you'll see the oil pan and the transmission there. So if we go in and have a look, you'll see there, this is the oil filter sitting here, and then further back here, this is the drain plug. So first thing we're going to do is drain the oil before we take the filter off. So we'll get the wrench for that, get the oil drained and caught, and then we'll get the filter off. Okay, so we're ready to actually drain the oil. The oil in here is warm. It's very warm actually. We just finished the running around. But I do like to drain the oil warm if I possibly can. I believe it keeps all the dirt and everything, the contaminants suspended in the oil better. So when you drain it, you clean out the system better, rather than it being cold and having just all sat at the bottom of the oil pan and then try and drain it. Either way, I'm going to get at it here. Okay, there we go. Now, you're almost inevitably going to get oil on you doing this. There we go. That took a bit of doing, but I did it with minimum oil on my gloves. I do have a piece of cardboard down because I don't like that to clean up the workshop too much. So we'll let that drain for a few minutes and then we'll get on with the oil pan. Okay, so we've let the oil drain. It's down to a slow drip now as it's coming out. So we can put the plug back in. This is the plug. You see there, I don't know if you can actually see that. It actually has a seal. Maybe that's easy to see there. It actually has a rubber seal here from the factory, so it doesn't have a separate washer. So far it's sealed just fine, so I'm continuing to use it. I'm going to guess at some point you have to either replace the whole thing or replace that. I haven't looked at that yet, but like I say, so far it's sealed without any leaking for me. So we'll put that back in. We'll wipe the surface first where we've just drained the oil, and we'll put this plug back in. I'll just crawl under here. There we go. Probably one of the other advantages of jacking the car up slightly is it actually slightly tilts the oil pan up at the front and down at the back, which probably aids draining. Okay, I'm just going to snug that for the moment because I want to come over here and do the oil filter. Okay, so I've just slipped the wrench on. There we go. Oh, it was nice and easy to do anyway. Nice when you've done it yourself before and it's not wrenched on there with an impact gun, so it's utterly not removable. Sadly, this design by Ford is going to make a mess. You are going to have to catch oil and you're going to have it everywhere, as opposed to putting it out the side or something, or the BMWs, which are up top. But anyway, there we go. Oil filter off. Okay, with the oil filter off, I did just take the drain plug out again, and we did have a little bit more oil run out. I guess it helped it vent or breathe with this off. So I got a little bit more there, but it's down to a very slow drip again. So I'm going to put that back in and then tighten it up this time. And then we will put the oil filter on. Okay, so here's the new oil filter. You see the gasket here. Now you have to put a little oil on that gasket before you tighten it up, so it seals properly. So I've got my new oil here, so I'll just dip my finger in there and then just wipe it around. Okay, so it's got some oil on there now. We're ready to just screw that up into place. Okay, so just gonna pop that up onto here. Thread it on. Now, you put it on until it just touches, and then do about a quarter of a turn. Like that. There we go. You don't want it too tight. Do not torque it on like crazy. You'll destroy it getting it off. So that's good. That should seal it nice there. That's tightened up. The spec for the drain is actually, I think, 20 Newton meters, but I will put it in the description there to be sure if anyone's doing that. I just snug it. And I think we're done under here now. We are ready to go up top, start pouring oil in. Okay, so we're ready to pour the oil in. I've wiped the filter, or the funnel rather, out here. It says 4.3 liters with an oil filter change after draining. That's about 4.5 US quarts, I guess. So the jug I have is 5 liters, so I'm going to put about 4 in and then start it up, circulate it, and then top it up. Okay, so I have added about 4 liters in there now, and what we're going to do now, we'll start the engine up, and then we'll check the level and do a top up. Now, some people will fill up the oil filter before they put it on. I don't. I never have. Doesn't matter, I believe, either way. Maybe some who have a real strong opinion on that, but it's going to circulate and fill that filter very, very quickly anyway. So what we're going to do now, we'll give it we'll check, see what it says here. Put that down and have a look. Yeah, it's saying it's midway to full there. About there. So we'll start it up. It'll drop. We've got at least probably half a liter to put in right now. We'll just pop that on. I don't think there's going to be any splashing, but we'll put that on and we'll start her up and then come back and check. Okay, so we ran the car briefly there to circulate the oil around, fill up the oil filter, and I've just checked the level here, and it is just down at the lower tip. So we're down 2/3 of a liter, half a liter maybe. So I'm going to top it up now, and then I'll just check it again. And then what we'll do is go down below and just double check there's no drips or anything nasty like that going on. So I just used normal 5W20 oil in the car. I'm not using synthetic in this car. It has 180,000 kilometers on it, which is, I don't know, 110,000 miles. I had absolutely no issues with it. I just make sure I change the oil about every 5,000 kilometers or 3,000 miles. And I haven't had any problems. So that's what I used. And I just used a Fram oil filter. I'll put the number that I used in the description as well if anyone wants to use that same one. Okay, so I have checked underneath the car for any drips or seepages at all. There's nothing appears to be coming out there, which is good. If you have the splash shield under there, that's the time you would put that back up, screw it back in place. I've lowered the car back down. I've double checked my oil level and it's bang on, it's perfect. Just shy of the fill mark, so that's good. I'll check it after a couple of days of driving to be sure. But there we have it. The oil change is done. All right, everybody, oil change is done. I hope as you followed along it was helpful for you. If you're going to try an oil change yourself, I figure it's about half the cost of taking it into an oil change place, and you get the satisfaction to do it in yourself, and you get to sort of check under the hood and underneath the car while you're at it, which is a good thing. So enjoy. And stay safe, everybody, and stay tuned. There's more videos. If you enjoyed this one, hit like, subscribe. That would be awesome. And I'll see you in the garage later on with some other videos on some cars.